Hey everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Let's do something chainsaw related for once. So, I've gone quite a while without doing a carb, and Mike reached out to me not too long ago. Said, hey, I got this XL104 that I'm trying to get going, and I'll just go with the email here. Put a new kit in SDC-1, runs at high speed but dies when you let off the trigger. No amount of adjustment changes that. I believe it might be a check valve from what you indicated in an earlier email. I've never done that. I'm not entirely sure that all the issue is with the carb, if it is indeed the carb, but I don't know what else it could be. So, here it is. Came in the mail today. And I got my test mule out. We're going to put it on there and just see what she does. So the SDC-1 smells like fuel. Wonder why. SDC-1 has an accelerator pump on it. Now, it's really common for folks to get worked up about, sorry, I was out of frame, the accelerator pump there. Yes, it's there for a reason, but it's not likely the cause of a problem. If you've got a runnability issue on a saw, it's not very likely that accelerator pumps, so don't worry about that too much, at least not initially. So I'm gonna go ahead and bolt this on. Sure, you guys, if you got some newer folks here that haven't seen the test mule, it is an XL12 that I butchered because, well, I could. I actually think I put it together with a mix of parts and crap. And it's for testing coils and for testing carburetors. And yes, I can pull that coil out through that hole in the starter there. It's purely what this is for, is to make my life easier. And with the handle box cut off, I can test pretty much any carb till it's an HS, Walbro SDC, Zama C2, maybe a few others on here that would be on the kind of saws that a home might had. So it doesn't matter about the screw length or anything because I've got room to screw around here. So let me bolt this on. We'll take a listen to what it's doing before we dig into it. Alright, carb is installed. I want to check these settings to see where we're at. We'll start with the high. Alright, the high is closed all the way. That's strange. I'm going to go to 1 on that. Oh, Mike must have closed them. Okay. And I'll go to 1 1/4 on the low. Choke is on. Let's see what happens. Nothing good is happening. It's not even pulling fuel. Okay. Well, that makes it easy, I guess. We know something's wrong. This battery is about done. It's okay, I can't remember the last time I charged it. Come on, baby, get off of there. Man, I hate these fat freaking fuel barbs. Yeah. That thing didn't pull a drop of fuel. So let's dig into her and see what we see. I going to get away with that? Zoom too much? Come on. Camera, can you work with me here? Alright. My viewfinder reversed on me. There we go. Oh, there we go. Alright. Alright, I'll try not to move from that spot. I always like to start with the fuel inlet side. Oopsie. Just to see what we can see. God, it's so amazing how no matter what camera angle I put, I block you guys' view of what's going on. Curse of the sausage fingers, I guess. Okay. Diaphragm order is correct. That's bone dry. Wow. What the hell's going on with this thing? Proper gasket. Okay. She's bone dry though. Let's see what we find on the other side. I'm not, since it would run for Mike a little bit, I don't know. I used, oh, she's got a little fuel here. What do we got? Okay. I was thinking I'd find this. That feels stiff. That spring. Hard to say. So if we end up replacing the high-speed check valve that's under there, you got to drill that Welch plug out, extract the seat, drop in a new valve, new seat, and then a new plug. But I want to figure out why I couldn't even get it to fire. I used the gasket that's still stuck to the carb, and those impulse holes line up perfectly. And that is interesting. I don't know. Just what you wanted me to hear, right? I don't know. That's not what anybody came to the damn channel for. Let's put this back together enough that we can do some pressure testing. There's nothing under there that looks amiss. Everything we do should be on the other side of the carb, so okay, zoom out a bit so if I twitch my finger I don't get everything out of frame here. We're going to pressure test this. Let's see what we're up against here. Now she holds a lot of pressure. This gauge is starting to get damage to the face, but she's sitting there on 9 psi, almost rock steady. Alright, let's see if we got good flow. We do. That just feels like a stiff, stinking spring. Yeah, see, I pegged the gauge at, the hell is that, 15 psi, and she didn't pop. Oh, do I have? I do. I'm going to try a softer spring. At least I'm assuming that that's a softer spring. I have seen some carburetors where some well-intentioned soul has put a spring from like a click pen or something like that in, but it ends up too damn stiff. Now that, to me, look at the difference in the height of those two springs. Can you guys see that? I think you can. I know it's off to the side over here, but look at those. That's the one I pulled out of my SDC bin. That's the one that came out. That looks like a later Tillotson spring. So, let me get this needle out. And we're going to try using that one that I think belongs in here. Yeah. I'm wondering if that might be it. Alright. Again, I'm sure I'm sausage fingering just about everything out of view. And I didn't remember to zoom it back out. God, I'm a pro at this, can't you tell? Okay. Let's pressure test again. Still not going to release. Which, to be fair, I'm not going to lose a lot of sleep over. Ah, see that? Took nothing to get that to come down. Just barely touch it. Yeah. We're going to assemble this and put it back on the saw. And I'll bet we'll have a different result. So remember on these these SDCs, you do have to click the diaphragm into the fork. And I'm having a bit of trouble doing that. Did I get it? Yes, I did. Okay. What you don't want to do is have it sitting on top of that or jammed up, because then you're screwed. You'll put it back on the saw, and your saw will not run right, if it runs at all. Yeah, that almost looks like a spring out of maybe a Tillotson HL. I should remember better, but I don't. So that's my speculation. Now, if I'm wrong about this whole thing, we could be pulling this thing back apart and putting a check valve in it, and it may need that, I don't know. But I want to hear it run first before assuming that. Know what I mean? I want it to prove to me that that's what it needs. There we go, we're back to something close to reasonable. Let's drop this bad boy back on. We'll hook up the hose first because it's easier. And again, the gasket is stuck on the back of the carb here, and I don't want to jack that up. I'm just going to leave it in place and use it, because it should line up with the impulse hole just fine. Okay, take two of let's see what she sounds like running. Let's hope we get a better result this time. Going on with you? Can't tell. That hose is clouded enough. I can't tell if it drew fuel. Oh. Yeah, she's got fuel. This is getting obnoxious. Very obnoxious. No, I shouldn't do that, but one little squirt ain't gonna hurt. Hold on a minute. That would be, I suppose, apropos if the coil on my test mule died. That was stupid. Alright. You know what? I think it did. That was stupid. That was really stupid. I don't know that that's going to fix everything, but I'm going to drop another coil on here real quick. Okay, let's try that again. She wants to go. Didn't draw fuel. Not at all, folks. Okay. I love wasting people's time. Sarcasm. I'm going to pull this off, get into it, see what we find. Okay, folks, so I made a massive mistake. I got out of sequence on my on-off on the camera, and I lost some really good footage. The picture you're looking at is after I drilled out both Welch plugs. And I first drilled out the high-speed one. That'd be the one on the left-hand side. You can see the screen, the retainer ring down in there, and a little fleck of metal from drilling out the plug. But I tested that check valve and it was rock solid, not a problem at all. So I drilled out the low speed side, and you know, while I was doing that, I was talking about how I never have to do this, but I was going to do it anyway on this one. Well, lo and behold, what I found in there is there are 3 holes. You can only see 2 of them with this camera angle that this accidental video was captured on. But there's one more just out of sight on the right hand side of the screen there. There's 3 in a row. So as your throttle plate opens more and more, once those holes are uncovered, they start flowing fuel. Well, with my test mule not having any throttle linkage, I was using no fast idle. So I paid attention to that hole that you guys can't see in this picture. Well, there was a fleck of sawdust in there, or wood fiber or something. I don't know what. But I dug it out. I used a very, very, very tiny strand of wire to push through there, and sure as anything, that thing came out. So, again, sorry for the screw up on the footage, but it's very important that I get that context in here so that the rest of the video makes sense. Okay, hopefully last time's the charm, otherwise this is going to get embarrassing. I saw fuel move. Come on, baby. She drew fuel. Into the fuel hose, at least. Come on, you. Let's not be an irritant. Alright. That sounded a little on the lean side. Give it a little more on the low. Not encouraging. Not encouraging at all. That should be out to 1.5 now. If I have to go much further than that, I have questions. Come on. Okay. We got it. I'm not sure what else I was fighting there. That tuning was definitely persnickety at first. It appears to be about where, well, it's where it should run on a 54cc XL12. For the XL104, it's going to be slightly different. It just will be. Again, I'm probably not even at the same elevation. So there will be some minor tuning required, but that's got it. So the reason that worked, or the reason things were happening that didn't totally match what Mike experienced, again, since I have no throttle handle on this thing, I didn't have any fast idle set. So it was basically down on idle, and the only fuel passage that was visible was that first one right there. That's the one that was plugged. Now, despite me saying, hey guys, normally you don't have to take this apart. You don't normally have to pop the low-speed Welch plug out. This time you did. Okay, again, I can count on one hand the number of times that I have had that particular instance happen. One hand. I've got fingers left over. I also have Daddy Longlegs trying to attack me here. I think I smoked him out of one of these webs. So that's why it wouldn't draw fuel. You've got to have a complete functioning carburetor to draw fuel. It's not enough to have good impulse. If the vacuum created at the engine at the proper time isn't trying to draw fuel, you're not going to get fuel up in here. And that can be so freaking frustrating. So I guess you got to trust your work. If you're certain you've got your diaphragms right, and you're certain that she's holding pressure the proper way, and you're certain that, you know, all the other things are right, or if you know, those kits come with the plugs. If you're damned careful, you can drill them out, check everything. Get off of me, you sumbitch. He literally was trying to attack me. You can drill them out and replace them each time if you want to. Damn that thing. That spider is out to get me. And it's not going to hurt anything. Again, I don't, because I don't normally need to. And that's why I've got a whole bunch of them in my carb bin there. So, anyway, Mike, this thing is going to run for you this time. You will be good to go. So, hopefully this video is helpful. We did cover a few things that I don't think I've covered on an SDC previously, so we'll add another one to that playlist. I'll catch you guys in the next one.